اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم الشريف. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى ولي ابن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم الشريف. تقبل الله أعمالكم وأجركم عند Allah. Dear viewers, may Allah accept our efforts and give to all of us the best reward with the right of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Today is 9th of Muharram, tomorrow is 10th of Muharram, day of Ashur, day of martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam and his companions. May Allah give us tawfiq that we'll be able to understand the ideology of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam and will implement the teachings of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam upon ourselves, and then inshallah will be the practical examples for humanity and mankind. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Dear viewers, 9th of Muharram, which is also called Taswa Ashura in Persian, we mark 9th of Muharram with the Shahada of Ali al-Akbar. Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam had 3 sons. That 3 of them, they were present in Karbala. The oldest one was Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam, Ali Zainul Abidin. And he was sick. That was, of course, maslaha, that he was sick and he couldn't fight. Otherwise, when Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam raised his voice for help, and when he was calling upon that Hal min Nasir and Yansurna, it would become wajib upon him if he would be eligible to fight. Like, he was not, he would be considered disabled. The jihad was not obligatory upon him because he was sick. So that's how, he didn't go to fight, and then he was kept safe. Then other 2 sons, Ali al-Akbar, he was, according to the history, 18 years old at the time of the Shahada. And then the youngest one was Abdullah Razi or Ali al-Asghar, 6-month old. So 2 of the sons of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, they offered their Shahada and they sacrificed their life. And Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam was kept alive because he was sick, and it was not obligatory for him to answer the call of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam or go for jihad. Ali al-Akbar alayhi salatu wasalam, he was beloved one to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, like even Imam Sajjad and Ali al-Asghar. But just imagine, 18 years old son. And by the way, another thing that why he was beloved one to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, and Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam had an emotional attachment with Ali al-Akbar, because he was, replica almost in appearance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He would look alike Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam would say that whenever I miss my grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, I would look at him. And he was, similar to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And exactly that's what Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, he did describe, about Ali al-Akbar when he let him go. And when he was leaving, Ali al-Akbar, he got the permission to go and fight with the enemies. And when he was leaving, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, then he looked at skies and raised his hands and he said, Allahumma ashhad ala ha'ulai al-qawm. Oh Allah, be my witness on these people. Baradu alayhim. Now someone is going towards them. Ashbah an-nath bi rasulik. That he is, the closest one, similar one to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, khulkan wa khalqa. I mean, even morally and also physically, his appearance, his face would look like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That was another reason that Imam Hussain Islam had an emotional attachment with Imam Ali Akbar Islam. Now, uh, 10th of Muharram, he came to ask Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Imam Hussain Islam, that will you give me permission to go? Imam Hussain Islam didn't hesitate to say him yes. He did resist about other Shahada, like Abbas Islam. He came several times, and Imam Hussain Islam would have different excuses and would say, no, you are Sapa Salar, the chief commander of my army. You are the flag bearer of my army. How come I can let you go? All that. And finally, he gave the permission to Hazrat Abbas Islam to go and bring water. But about Ali Akbar Islam, that was the best sacrifice Imam Hussain Islam offered. And then he, without hesitation, let him go. But of course, he came to visit his mom and his aunt and all the ladies. And there, even, it was very hard for them to let him go. And it has been narrated that when he wanted to leave, then one of those ladies will grab him and will say, please stay little longer so we can see you, because we know that you will go and you will never come back. And then finally, he did go to fight. He had a best fight. And also, it has been mentioned that even he came back once and he was asking for the water. He said, Baba Jan, if you give me a little water, I will see that how to fight with them. But Imam Hussain Islam, of course, he didn't have the water to offer him. But yes, Imam Hussain Islam, at one point, he did say that, please take my tongue into your mouth. Maybe you will be able to feel some, wetness. And then when Ali Akbar Islam, he did that, he said, Baba, your tongue is drier than me. Because, of course, Imam Hussain was thirsty for 3 days. And then it has been mentioned, like Shaykh Mutahari, he says that why Imam Hussain asked them to take my tongue, while he knew that his tongue is even drier than Ali Akbar. This is that Imam Hussain wanted to kiss him, in fact, the last time. So that's how he asked him to take my tongue so he can kiss his son. I mean, it's not that easy, dear viewers. And finally, even when Imam Hussain gave him the permission and he was, going towards Maqtal, even then Imam Hussain would look at him, and even we see that he was trying to walk behind him. And finally, it's also a very famous saying of Imam Hussain when Ali Akbar, he said, Baba, you gave me the permission, let me go now. If you don't want me to go, I won't go. And then Imam Hussain, he said, Oh Ali Akbar, you won't understand a feeling of an old man who is sending his young son like you towards Maqtal. If you would be like me, an old father, and you would have a son like yourself, 18 years old, then you will understand what I'm talking about and how I feel. And finally, Ali Akbar, when he fell down, then he just called upon Imam Hussain Islam. But Fuqaha, this says that he called upon Imam Hussain Islam, Alayka minni salam. That is kind of a salam that is not obligatory to reply. And Ali Akbar knew that Baba's mouth is so dry, it would be hard for him if I say Assalamu alayka. Then he would say Alaykum assalam. Is gonna be hard for him. That kind of respect and understanding, and of course emotional attachment with each other. And then finally Imam Hussain when he came and he saw, then we see that Ali Akbar was lying down, and then it was so hard for Imam Hussain to bring back Ali Akbar into the tents alone. And but he put his arms into his neck, and then he dragged him towards the tents. So it was very hard for Imam Hussain Islam. And even Imam Hussain Islam, he did say that, oh my son Ali Akbar, I can't see after you. I mean, my light is gone. And I don't know where are you. And he was saying, where are you? Answer to me. I mean, Imam Hussain Islam, it was shocking for Imam Hussain Islam. So we offer our condolence to Imam Hussain upon the Shahada of Ali al Akbar. And may Allah, you know, give us tawfiq that we will understand the sacrifice of Ali al Akbar and will be able to implement upon ourselves and will be, inshallah, transferred towards humanity and mankind. That kind of sacrifice, philosophy, teaching, characteristic, conduct. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen, Ya Rabbal